Here, in last class, we have discussed some important applications of the friction. Now, next application, here 12th one, note point. Suppose one block having certain mass is kept for the rough horizontal surface. Coefficient of static friction between the block and the surface is say mu s. Coefficient of static friction between the block and the surface is mu s. Okay. Now, here this block is connected to one end of the string like this, and here the string is passed over the light frictionless pulley. Here there is a pulley, light frictionless pulley. The string is passed over the light frictionless pulley, and here at the other end of the string or rope, one monkey held, just one monkey held the rope and hanging like this. Okay, here this monkey try to, actually whenever the monkey is stationary, just by held the rope, whenever the monkey is stationary, the block does not slide. Even the block does not tends to slide also. Okay, so here whenever the monkey just held the rope, and if it is at rest only by held the rope, then in this block the block does not slide, and even the block does not tends to slide also. Suppose here the string makes an angle theta with horizontal. The string makes an angle theta with horizontal. Okay, so here then what happens? The monkey wants to move this block. The monkey wants to move this block. What monkey has to do? Tell me. Here actually, whenever the monkey held the rope here, definitely the weight of the monkey acts vertically downwards direction. Suppose mass of the monkey is m, then weight of the monkey mg acts downwards direction. As it is at rest, that means under equilibrium, at the same time the string also exerts the same amount of force on the monkey in upward direction. As it is light frictionless pulley, as it is the same string, the same tension acts on the block by means of this rope on the block in this direction. Okay, now we resolve the tension into two components, rectangular components. One component in this direction, that is t cos theta, another component is t sin theta. So because of this tension component t cos theta, the block can move now, but it is not moving. Even the block does not ready to slide also, tends to slide also. What monkey has to do to just to slide, at least to start sliding? What monkey has to do? Okay, very good. No, monkey is already pulling by held the rope here. Monkey is pulling the rope block in this direction. Due to that, the tension component t cos theta acts on the block, and the component of tension t cos theta pulls the block in this direction, but it is not moving. Okay. How the monkey can apply the more force on the rope? How the monkey can apply more force on the rope? Whenever the monkey travel in upward direction with certain acceleration, when the monkey travel in upward direction with certain acceleration, then the tension of the rope will increase. Because already in case of lift, I said, whenever the lift is moving upwards with certain acceleration a, then the apparent weight of the man is equal to m of g plus a. No? Similarly, when the monkey by held the rope, when the monkey is climbing with an acceleration a, then in this case, you see, the weight of the monkey acts vertically downwards direction for monkey. The weight of the monkey acts in downwards direction. Tension acts in upward direction. Even then, as the monkey is moving upwards, is t is more or mg is more? Tension acts on the monkey in upward direction, weight mg downwards direction. If the monkey accelerates in upward direction by climbing this rope, then is t is more or mg is more? T is more. That's why net force acts on the monkey is t minus mg. That is equal to mass into, as the acceleration of the monkey upwards is a, then ma. Therefore, tension is equal to m of g plus a or mg plus ma. No? Okay, that means whenever the monkey climbs the rope, then the tension, when the monkey climbs the rope with certain acceleration, then the tension the rope increases. Suppose if the monkey held the rope and it is at rest only, then A is equal to 0, then tension is equal to weight only. Suppose if climbs the rope with an acceleration A, then tension will increase. Suppose if the monkey comes down with acceleration A, then tension is equal to mg minus ma. That means tension decreases. But here, whenever the monkey is held the rope like this and it is at rest, the tension developed in the string is T is equal to mg only. Their component acts along this direction, and that component of tension is not sufficient to pull the block in forward direction. That's why monkey starts climbing with acceleration due to the tension increase. Such tension component T cos theta. So for block to move or to just start sliding, T cos theta must be equal to, or for the block to move, the condition is for the block to move, the condition is, for the block to move, the condition is T cos theta must be greater than or equal to the frictional force. Here, because of this component of tension, T cos theta pulls the block in this direction. Then at the same time, friction opposes the motion in backward direction. So limiting friction acts in backward direction. That's why whenever T cos theta greater than, whenever the T cos theta is equal to FL, then the block tends to slide. If it is greater, slides. That's why T cos theta must be greater than or equal to limiting friction FL. So from this, T cos theta greater than or equal to FL means mu s into normal reaction. In this case, what is the normal reaction? Suppose the mass of the block is say m, then weight of the block mg acts vertical direction. So here normal reaction perpendicular to the plane of contact, normal reaction acts in upward direction. So actually here we see weight mg acts in downward direction and tension component T sin theta acts in upward direction. So what is the net weight of the block in downward direction? Because even tension component T sin theta acts on the block upwards, as the block is in contact with the floor only, means mg will be greater than T sin theta. So net weight of the body in downward direction could mg minus T sin theta. With that force, the block pushes the floor in downward direction. The equivalent reaction force acts in upward direction. That's why normal reaction is mu s into, normal reaction means mg minus T sin theta. Normal reaction is equal to net weight in downward direction is mg minus T sin theta. That is equal to normal reaction. Okay, now from this, we need the acceleration. No? We need the acceleration. Okay, you write the T terms aside. Here minus T sin theta is there. You bring to left. Then T cos theta plus mu s into T sin theta greater than or equal to mu s into mg. Okay, you take T common. T of cos theta plus mu s sin theta greater than or equal to mu s into mg, or T greater than or equal to mu s mg. Here it is small m, here it is capital M. Okay, by mu s. Okay, 10 T sin theta brought to left. No, okay, right. Here mu s into here capital M. No, it is mg minus, here it is capital M. Sorry, it is capital M. Here it is small m. Okay, so here capital M. So we write capital M. Capital M. Okay, because the mass of the block is considered as capital M. No, so capital M into G. Okay, by cos theta plus mu s sin theta. Okay, what about T? T is equal to mg plus ma. No, T is equal to mg plus ma greater than or equal to mu s capital Mg by cos theta plus mu s sin theta, or ma greater than or equal to mu s capital Mg by cos theta plus mu s sin theta minus mg, or A greater than or equal to mu s capital M z by m, you divide with m, then m into cos theta plus mu s sin theta minus mg by small m means g. This is the formula for acceleration of the monkey. Acceleration of the monkey. So whenever the acceleration of the monkey is greater than or equal to at least this value, then only the block can move. Otherwise, the block cannot move. So this is the required condition. Okay. So here, what is the minimum acceleration if they ask? Or minimum acceleration if they ask? Minimum means equal to we have to take. Maximum means there is no limit. So minimum means mu s capital Mg by small m into cos theta plus mu s sin theta minus z. So it is the minimum acceleration of the monkey to just start sliding in the block. Okay. Okay, note this one. Shall I erase this part? Okay. Next, note 13, last note point. Suppose on the rough horizontal floor, here this is a rough horizontal floor, here it is a vertical wall or vertical support. Here one block is kept over the rough horizontal surface having mass m. One block having mass m is kept here so that the weight mg acts downwards direction. Okay, then here one end of the string is fixed to vertical wall and the string is passed over the light frictionless pulley, frictionless pulley like this. The string is passed over the light frictionless pulley and the other end is connected to the block. And this pulley is pulled towards right with a force capital F. With a force capital F. What is the minimum force required to pull the block? What is the minimum force required to pull the block? What is your doubt? What is the doubt, Pranav? Pranav, I will mute off you. You speak with me. Okay, Pranav, what is your doubt? Is any wrong in the calculation?
No wrong, sir. But here we took condition of minimum, no, sir.
Yeah.
So denominator should be minimum, no, sir. Maximum, no, sir.
No, here a greater than or equal to means when you take equal to a minimum.
Yes, sir. For minimum condition, we can take here also maximum, no, sir.
In the denominator value. Okay. Further, no. This is one condition. Suppose if m is variable, if
Okay,
n
sir.
can be varied, in such case, to have the further minimum means we can reduce the mass.
Okay, sir.
And that is the condition. If these are constants now. M is
Okay,
constant. Okay.
Means according to mathematics, if it is there a cos theta plus b sin theta, then we will have formula, sir. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Based on the conditions, we can write. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Right. Here in this case,
Sir,
here one black.
Sir.
Right. Here one black having mass m is kept over the rough horizontal surface. The coefficient of static friction between block and the horizontal surface is mu s. Okay. Here one end of the string is fixed to vertical wall and the sting is passed over the light frictionless pulley and the other end is fixed to block and the pulley is pulled with a force F. Then what is the minimum force required? So what is the force required just to start sliding in the body? Minimum force required. Minimum force F. F minimum required to start the motion in block of mass M is equal to dash. We need this one. Okay. Suppose when you pull the pulley, it is a light pulley, light frictionless pulley, light pulley. So when you pull the pulley by means of with force F here, at the same time the two strings here, this string opposes the motion of the pulley in this direction, and these two strings exert the strings. This part of the string exert the force on the pulley in opposite direction. They are there here with what forces? These two parts of the string exert the force to pull the block in backward direction is the tension in the string. So tension in the string is this one. The same tension in the string pulls the block in this direction. The same tension in the string pulls the block in this direction. Okay. Here for pulley, you see, because of application of this force, the pulley move in forward direction. No? That's why applied force minus what is the total tension acts on the pulley in backward direction. This string exert the force tension T in this direction. This string exert the tension T in this direction. So total tension acts on the pulley in backward direction is 2T. F minus 2T is equal to mass of the pulley into acceleration of the pulley. Actually, that is the formula. F minus 2T is equal to light pulley means mass is negligible. That's why 0 into something 0. Since light pulley, MP is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, F is equal to 2T. Implies tension T is equal to F by 2. No, this is equation 1. T is equal to F by 2. Okay. So tension developed whenever you pull the pulley, you pull this pulley in this direction with a force F, then tension developed in the string is equal to F by 2. This F by 2, this tension T, try to pull the block in back forward direction. For the block to move, whenever tension acts in this direction, definitely the block try to move in this direction. So friction between the block and the floor acts in opposite direction. Okay, suppose the limiting friction is say FL. For the block to start motion, definitely tension the block, tension in the string with which it pulls the block must be equal to limiting friction. So for the condition for block to move, condition is tension must be greater than or equal to the limiting friction. Tension means F by 2. Greater than or because tension is F by 2, no? FL means mu S into normal reaction. Here definitely normal reaction on the block is equal to weight only, no? Because the block is kept over the horizontal surface. That's why in this direction normal reaction is this one. There is no tension component on the block along vertical direction or along vertical direction. That's why normal reaction is equal to mg only. So mu S into normal reaction. Therefore, F is greater than or equal to 2 mu S into normal reaction means mg, since n is equal to mg. Okay. So this is the condition. So for the block to move, the force required is greater than or equal to 2 mu S mg. What is the minimum force? Minimum force, if they ask, F minimum. Minimum means we have to take equal. So 2 mu S mg. It is the minimum force. It is a condition for the block to move, and it is a minimum force required. These two are important. Sometimes they may ask condition. In advance, they may ask condition. In mains, they may ask the minimum force. Okay. So 2 mu mg. Okay. Right. No doubt. Next, here same type, but here instead of string, a spring is connected. So here one end of the string is a spring is connected to the block. Okay, other end is connected to the string, and the string is passed over the light frictionless pulley. The string is passed over the light frictionless pulley, and the other end of the string is connected to the rigid support, vertical wall. And this light pulley is pulled towards right with a force equal to F. The spring constant is capital K. The spring constant is capital K. The mass of the block is M. So weight mg acts vertically downwards direction. Of course, at the same time, normal action acts on the block in upward direction, because if the weight of the block is mg, then the block pushes the horizontal surface in downwards direction with a force equal to weight. No, because of that, is the block breaks the floor and it easily comes down? No. That means at the same time, the floor also exerts the equivalent reaction force on the block in upward direction, that is perpendicular to plane of contact of the block with the floor, that is in upward direction. So obviously here normal along vertical direction, as there is no motion in the block, normal reaction is equal to mg. This is equation 1. Okay, next, when you pull the pulley with a force F in this direction, at the same time, the string here and the spring here both pulls the pulley in backward direction with certain forces. No, as it is totally the same string, definitely whatever the force with which this string pulls the pulley in backward direction, this string also pulls the pulley in backward direction with the same force called tension T. Here also tension T. Here, as this string is connected to the spring, the tension developed in the string, with this tension developed in the string pulls the spring in this direction. That's why spring elongates or extends due to the spring force is developed. So this is equal to the tension here developed is equal to spring force Fs. Now for pulley, here applied force is towards right on the pulley, and in opposite direction 2T force acts. 2T, that means 2T force acts in backward direction. This is the net force acts on the pulley. As the pulley move in this direction, as it is a light pulley, this is light pulley. That's why definitely mass of the pulley into acceleration of the pulley we have to write. With whatever the acceleration with which the pulley travels, as the mass is 0, then that implies F is equal to 2T. F is equal to 2T. This is equal to 2 into spring force Fs, because T is equal to Fs now here. So F is equal to 2Fs. This is equation 2. Okay. Now for spring, here whenever you pull the pulley in this direction, at the time, suppose the pulley displaces a distance. At the instant whenever the pulley starts motion or ready to start sliding, in such case, suppose the pulley displaces a distance equal to say x. The pulley displaces a distance equal to x, say. Here at the same time the spring extends. No, whenever the pulley displaces through a distance, you see, whenever the pulley displaces through a distance, x means, okay, here the spring extends. Actually length of the string is up to this only. Whenever the pulley displaces through a distance, x means this length of the string will increase, means there is no chance for the string to increase, but the spring will extend. Okay, suppose the extension of the spring is, suppose here you see, actually this length and this length, the additional here, whenever the pulley comes to this position, this additional length of the string is there. That additional length of the string is because of extension of the string only. So what is the total extension of the spring now? If the pulley displaces through a distance x, if the pulley displaces through a distance x, then what is the extension of the spring? When the pulley displaces through a distance x and comes to this position, at that time the string occupies here the additionally the length of the string increased by this part and this part. No, actually the string is up to this only, but whenever the pulley is displaced here, in the string there is no extension. But even then the pulley displaces here means the block not slides. The block ready to slide but not slides. So in that case, definitely the spring will extend. So here, whenever the pulley displaces through a distance x, then this additional length, here x and here x, there is an additional length of this string is there. That means that much length, 2x length, the spring will extend. 2x length, the spring will extend. Therefore, what is the spring force developed? When pulley displaces through a distance x, comma, then the spring extends by a length. The spring extends by a length equal to 2x. Are you clarified this one or not? First you tell me. Is it clarified to you or not? When the pulley displaces through a distance x, the length of the spring, here block does not slides, because we have to find what is the minimum force required to just start sliding. That means the block does not slides. The block does not slides. Here, whenever the spring pulls the block in this direction, when spring pulls the block in this direction by a force equal to Fs, at the same time, the motion of this block is prevented by frictional force here. The frictional force is in backward direction. Okay, whenever this Fs is equal to Fl or Fs greater than Fl, then only block slides. Our problem is, what is the condition for the block to move, or what is the minimum force required to pull the pulley in forward direction so that the block just starts sliding, not slides. Okay, block does not slide. But here, whenever the pulley is displaced through a distance F here, as it is spring, the spring will extend. Whenever spring extends, spring force is developed. If there is no extension in the spring, there is no question of spring force developed. Whenever spring force is not there, then the block does not even pulls in forward direction. Okay, that's why whenever the pulley is displaced through a distance x, then whenever pulley is here, this length of the string increase, no? How? But it is an inextensible string. Definitely the spring will extend. The spring will extend by this total increase in length is equal to x plus x to x. So extension of the spring is equal to 2x. That is very, very important. Now, what is the spring force developed? Spring force developed is equal to, we can write spring constant. Already I think you know, whenever the spring is extended, the spring force developed in the spring, because you see, suppose this is a spring, here spring is there, here spring is there. Okay, suppose when you pull the spring downwards direction with a force Fs, or the spring is displaced to a distance x, then when you release them, immediately the spring come back to the original position. No? That means some force is developed in the spring whenever it is extended or compressed. That is called spring force. Spring force is directly proportional to, you see, spring force is in this direction, whereas the extension is in this direction. Okay, that's why spring force is directly proportional to the minus of extension in the spring. Okay, or Fs is equal to, spring force is equal to some proportionality constant k into minus x or minus k into x, where k is called spring constant, or that is also called as the force constant in the spring. Spring constant or force constant in the spring. Okay, therefore, whenever the spring is extended by 2x, then what is the spring force developed? Means k into 2x. K into 2x. This is equation 3. Okay, so Fs is equal to k into 2x. That is equation 3. Now, here, what is the relation between F and Fs? F and Fs. Here, from equation 2, F is equal to 2Fs, no? F is equal to 2Fs. Here, for the block to start sliding, what is the condition? For the block to start sliding, what is the condition? Fs must be greater than or equal to Fl. For the block to slide, Fs must be greater than or equal to Fl, no? For block to slide, for block to start sliding. This Fs must be greater than or equal to Fl. Okay, so Fs greater than or equal to mu s into normal reaction mg. This is the condition 4. Okay, therefore here in this case Fs is equal to K into 2x now. Fs is equal to K into 2x. Okay, now if we substitute K into 2x there, so x is not there. Here x is not given. So if x is not given, how we can find? X is not given. So how we can find? One more condition we can find. Whenever the pulley is pulled towards right with a force F, then pulley displaced through a distance x. Okay, then work is done on the pulley in this direction now. So here work done on pulley by applied force F is F into pulley is displaced by distance x. That's why F into x. Because whenever the pulley displaced through a distance x because of this applied force, work done by this force on the pulley is equal to force into displacement. No, that's why work done is equal to force into displacement. Okay, this is equal to, because of this work done on the pulley, the spring is extended by x. The spring is extended by a distance equal to 2x. The spring is extended by a distance equal to 2x. Then what is the work done to extend the spring by 2x? Tell me, what is the work done to extend the spring by a length equal to x? Here in equation, no, just we take the magnitude, because direction is already mentioned now here. Whenever the extension is in this direction, spring force is in this direction. Okay, if extension is here, the spring force developed pulls the block in this direction. Here, a minus sign represents spring force and extension both are in opposite direction. If extension is in this direction, spring force is in this direction. Fs is in this direction. The spring force pulls the block in this direction. Okay. Right. So here, when the pulley is displaced through a distance x, then work done by the force on the pulley is equal to this one. Due to that, the spring will extend by a length equal to 2x. Then what is the work done on the spring? Work done on the spring. Here, no, work done on the spring is not equal to Fs into 2x. Work done on the spring is not equal to Fs into 2x, because as long as the extension increases from 0 to 2x, the spring force developed also continuously increases, because spring force is directly proportional. Spring force is directly proportional to kx now, directly proportional to x now. That's why as long as the extension gradually increases, spring force also increases. Spring force is not constant. If spring force is constant, simply spring force into extension to x is the work done on the spring. But here the spring force developed in the spring is not constant. It is directly proportional to x. Okay, that's why here whenever the, you see, this is equal to work done on the spring, Fs. Therefore, Fx is equal to work done on the spring means, you see, whenever x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, then spring force developed is equal to 0. When extension is x, then spring force developed is equal to Fs. So what is the average spring force? Average spring force we have to write. Average spring force into extension. That is the work done on the spring. Fx is equal to average spring force means Fs plus 0 by 2. Fs plus 0 by 2. Average spring force into displacement of the extension of the spring. Extension is equal to 2x. Extension is equal to 2x. Therefore, 2 cancel. Average spring force is Fs by 2 into 2x. So here 2 cancel. Okay, therefore Fx is equal to spring force means, what is the spring force? spring force is equal to K into 2x now. So K into 2x or x, sorry, okay, x cancel. That implies F is equal to 2K. F is equal to 2K numerically. Sorry, here x cancel. Okay, here you see x cancel. Okay, therefore F is equal to, here Fs means K into 2x no. F is equal to K into 2x. Okay, this is equation 5. Therefore actually work done on the spring is equal to Fs by 2 into 2x no. Fs means K into 2x by 2. K into 2x by 2. 2 cancel. K into 2x into x. K into 2x square. Okay. Suppose if the spring extends by x, then the work done on the spring is equal to half kx square. Work done on the spring is equal to half kx square. Because spring force kx, spring force, average spring force is Fs by 2 into, suppose if the extension of the spring is x only, then Fs by 2 into x. It is the general formula I am telling. Okay. As the extension of the spring is 2x, then we have tried 2x. Actually, when the extension of the spring is x, the work done on the spring to extend the spring by length equal to x is equal to work done on the spring. This is equal to, this work done on the spring is stored in the spring as the energy called potential energy. That's why potential energy stored in the spring is equal to half kx square. But here, x is equal to 2x, no? That's why 2x we had to write. Then k into 2x whole square. That means k into 4x square by 2. That means k into 2x square. So k into 2x square, here x square cancel, k into 2x. So same formula we got. Okay. Now, therefore, what is the condition for the block to move? Therefore, from this equation, therefore, from 4, spring force Fs greater than or equal to mu s mg. But spring force Fs is equal to, you see, from 2, spring force Fs is equal to F by 2, no? Therefore, you write F by 2. F by 2 greater than or equal to mu s into mg. Okay. So, therefore, F is equal to, F is directly greater than or equal to 2 mu s into mg. 2 mu s into mg. Because F is equal to 2Fs. Okay. F is equal to 2Fs. So F greater than or equal to 2 mu s into mg. This is the minimum force required to pull the block in towards right. Okay. K is the spring constant. Already I wrote no. Spring constant or force constant. K is the spring constant or force constant. Okay. So this is correct one. Okay. Next, motion of a body on inclined plane. Next to the new topic. New topic, most important one. Motion of a body on smooth inclined plane first. Then we will discuss rough inclined plane. Smooth inclined plane. Motion of a body on a smooth inclined plane. Suppose it is a smooth inclined surface which makes an angle theta with horizontal. This plane surface which is at certain angle theta with horizontal, that's why it is called an inclined plane. The angle made by this inclined plane with the horizontal means this one, that is called angle of inclination. So theta is the angle of inclination. What is your doubt, Vamshi? What is your doubt, Vamshi? Vamshi, what is your doubt you mentioned? It is not unmeeting. You unmute them. Vamshi, you unmute and speak. Vamshi, you unmute and speak with me.
Sir, same doubt as Pranav sir, but I had to ask for
Already I explained now.
that same thing.
Okay, right. Okay, now on the smooth inclined plane, here one block having certain mass is kept. On the smooth inclined plane, a block having certain mass that is kept here. Okay, then weight of the block always acts vertically downwards direction. Okay, here whenever you release the block on the inclined plane, automatically it slides down now. So that means along this direction, who will pull? The weight component only acts along the inclined plane downwards direction. Perpendicular to this inclined plane, you take the another component. So if it is theta, it is 90 minus, this is 90 minus theta and it is theta. So now this weight component is mg cos theta. This weight component is mg sin theta. That means when you keep the block on the smooth inclined plane, the weight component mg sin theta pulls the block downwards direction. Okay, now here from this first point, what is the acceleration of the pulley? Acceleration of this block downwards. Here along the smooth inclined plane, only the force acts on the block in downwards direction along the inclined plane is mg sin theta. As no friction is there, here normal reaction is equal to this one, no? Perpendicular to plane of contact. Here the block pushes the inclined plane downwards is equal to mg cos theta. The equivalent normal reaction developed here in upward direction. Okay. Now along the direction of motion of the block, only the force acts on the block is equal to mg sin theta. That's why force acts on the block along the inclined plane is equal to mg sin theta along incline. Okay, this is equal to, therefore acceleration A is equal to F by M. That is equal to F by M means G sin theta. This is the acceleration of the block on smooth inclined plane. Okay, next, suppose the length of the inclined plane is say L. The length of the inclined plane is say L. Then what is the time what is the time taken by the block to reach the bottom of the inclined plane? Here initial velocity of the block here is 0, because when it is released it has no velocity. Acceleration is equal to G sin theta. Okay, displacement, whenever it reaches the bottom of the inclined plane, the displacement is L. Time taken is how much? So when the block is kept at the top of the inclined plane and when it is released, what is the time taken by the block to reach the bottom of the inclined plane? So from S is equal to ut plus half a square. S is equal to ut plus half a square. S means L is equal to 0 plus half A means G sin theta into T square, or T is equal to root of 2L by G sin theta. No? This is the time taken by the block to reach the bottom of the inclined plane. Before reaches the bottom of the inclined plane, what is the velocity acquired? So what is the velocity acquired? So see, initial velocity is 0, acceleration along the inclined plane downwards is G sin theta, displacement S is equal to L. then what is the velocity acquired? From v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means v only, minus u0, 2a means g sine theta, into s means l, or v is equal to root 2z l sine theta. It is the velocity acquired by the body to reach the, before it reaches the bottom of the inclined plane. Okay, this is about the smooth inclined plane. Next, second one, motion of a body on a rough inclined plane. Motion of a body on a rough inclined plane. Okay, motion of a body on rough inclined plane. Motion of a body on a rough inclined plane. Suppose it is a rough inclined surface. The coefficient of static friction between the block and the inclined plane is say mu s, and coefficient of kinetic friction is say mu. Mu k is equal to mu. Okay. Now, you see, first, here whenever the block is kept on the rough inclined plane, whenever the block is kept on the rough inclined plane, what are the forces acts on the block? Okay, mg sin theta acts in this direction. Because of this weight component, as the block is pulled downwards, it will try to move down. But because of friction between these two, then the friction opposes the motion of the block. The friction opposes the motion of the block downwards direction. Okay, here whenever the friction acts on the block in opposite direction against the motion of the block, actually, if it is smooth, because of this weight component, it comes down. But at the same time, as it is a rough surface, friction opposes the motion of the block. So whenever weight component is less than the limiting friction here, the body does not slide. The body does not slide. Here you see, in this, when, first of all, when weight component mg sin theta less than limiting friction, is the block slides or not? When the weight component is less than the limiting friction, then block does not slide. Block does not slide. When weight component mg sin theta equal to limiting friction, then what about the block? When weight component is equal to limiting friction, then the block tends to slide or ready to slide. Okay, tends to slide. Okay, here actually you see how we can increase means, suppose initially here mg sin theta is equal to fl, no? Mg sin theta is equal to fl means mu s into normal reaction. Okay, therefore mg sin theta is equal to mu s into normal reaction means mg cos theta, no? Mg cos theta. Here mg cancel. Therefore mu s is equal to tan theta, no? Mu s is equal to tan theta. That means here whenever the static friction follows this condition, then such angle of inclination is called angle of repose. For example, here whatever the angle here, whenever the angle of inclination is less than this particular angle, whenever the angle of inclination is less than this particular angle, whenever theta is less than this particular angle, then mg sin theta is less than fl, then the block does not slide. You slowly increase the angle of inclination, then mg sin theta gradually increases, and at one particular angle of inclination, the mg sin theta balances the limiting friction. At that time, the body tends to slide. At that time, whatever the angle of inclination, that is called angle of repose. Here, so here at this particular angle, the body starts sliding, okay, or tends to slide. Such angle of inclination is called angle of repose. So angle of repose is equal to alpha. That is equal, angle of repose means at what angle of inclination the body tends to slide. Because initially, whenever this angle of, you see, here I will explain one more point here. Okay, first of all, you see, already I said, here you gradually increase the angle of inclination like this. Okay, then whenever angle of inclination gradually increases, as theta increases, mg sin theta increases. Okay, that's why the weight component acts along the inclined plane on the body gradually increases. Okay, at one particular angle of inclination, the weight component balances the limiting friction. Initially, weight component mg sin theta is less than limiting friction. Whenever the angle of inclination is like this, then weight component is less than limiting friction. In such case, the body does not slide. In that case, what is the friction? In that case, what is the frictional force developed in between the block and inclined plane? Okay, Tarun, what is your doubt? Tarun, what is your doubt? Okay, Tarun. You mentioned the doubt here, no? Tarun, you are yourself unmute and you speak with me. Tarun. Tarun, only speak. Don't remaining all people, you mute yourself only. Tarun, you speak. Come on, immediately. Time is not there.
Not there.
Likit, you mute up. Likit. Okay. Tell me, Tarun. Tarun. Frictionless surface means by smoothing. By polishing the surfaces, we can create the frictionless surfaces. Okay. Right. Okay, all of you see. Here, when angle of inclination gradually increases, mg sin theta increases. Okay. Then, at one particular angle of inclination, the body tends to slide because at one particular angle of inclination, the mg sin theta value equal to limiting friction. That's why the body tends to slide. Such particular angle of inclination at which the body tends to slide is called angle of repose. Okay. If alpha is angle of repose, say angle of repose. Okay. If theta is less than alpha, is the body slides or not? If theta is less than alpha, that means angle of inclination is less than angle of repose, then the body does not slide. Body does not slide. Slides. In this case, what is the friction? When the body does not slide, even does not tends to slide. In such case, even weight component acts as the body does not slides. In such case, the friction exists is equal to static friction. That's why in this case, static friction is equal to mg sin theta. When theta is equal to alpha, then when theta is equal to alpha, then the body tends to slide. The body tends to slide. When theta is equal to alpha means whenever angle of inclination is equal to angle of repose, then the body tends to slide. Tends to slide. In that case, whenever the body tends to slide, in that case, mg sin alpha is equal to limiting friction. Because theta is equal to alpha now here. So mg sin alpha is equal to FL means mu s into normal reaction mg cos theta. Theta means here as theta is equal to alpha here alpha. Therefore, mg cancel or mu s is equal to tan alpha. So if alpha is the angle of repose, then coefficient of static friction is equal to tangent of the angle of repose. So for at this particular angle of inclination only, the body tends to slide. When theta greater than alpha, then body slides. Body slides. Okay, now second one, acceleration of block A. Here you see acceleration of the block A means whenever the angle of inclination is greater than alpha only, then only the block slides. At that time, what is the net force acts on the block? Whenever here theta is greater than angle of repose. So in that case, the weight component mg sin theta greater than limiting friction. In such case, the body starts sliding. Whenever theta greater than alpha means the body starts sliding. No, Whenever the body starts sliding, what is the type of the friction present between the inclined plane and block? Whenever the block starts sliding, at that time, weight component mg sin theta acts in downwards direction, and the kinetic friction exists between the block and inclined plane upwards. Because already block starts sliding, so kinetic friction is there. Even then, as the block comes down, means obviously mg sin theta is greater than this one, or net force acts on the block is equal to F net is equal to mg sin theta minus Fk. mg sin theta minus Fk means mu k into normal reaction. When the body is kept on the inclined plane, normal reaction is equal to mg cos theta, no? So mg cos theta. Therefore, net force is equal to, you take mg common, sin theta minus mu k cos theta. So this is the formula for net force. Acceleration is how much? Acceleration is equal to net force acts on the block along the inclined plane downwards by mass. F net by m is g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta. This is the formula for acceleration. Okay, next, third one. What is the formula for time taken? Time taken to reach bottom. To reach bottom. T. Time taken to reach bottom. Initial velocity of the block here is 0. Initial velocity of the block at this point is 0. Acceleration, as the block slides down, the acceleration is equal to g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta. Okay. Displacement S is equal to, when it reaches the bottom of the inclined plane, displacement is equal to L. Time taken is how much? Again, from S is equal to ut plus half at square. S means L, u means 0, half a means g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta into t square. Or t is equal to 2L by g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta under root. This is the formula for time taken by the block to reach the bottom of the inclined plane. If it is the smooth, then there is no cohesion friction. That's why coefficient of kinetic friction becomes 0. If you put 0, then you will get previous value. Root 2L by g sin theta we got there, no? So you will get that equation. Okay. This is the time taken. What is the velocity acquired? So what is the velocity acquired before reaches the bottom of the inclined plane? So initial velocity is 0. Acceleration is equal to g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta in this case, and displacement S is equal to L. Velocity acquired is how much? Initial velocity is 0. While it is coming down on the rough inclined plane, acceleration is this one. When it reaches the bottom means displacement L. What is the velocity acquired here? So from v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square means v square only, minus u square means 0. 2, a means g of sin theta minus mu k cos theta into S means L. Or v is equal to square root of 2zl into sin theta minus mu k cos theta. This is the formula for velocity acquired. Now, in this case, what is the minimum force needed to pull the block up the inclined plane? What is the minimum force to pull the block up the inclined plane in this case? Fifth one. Minimum force required to pull the block up the inclined plane. Minimum force required to pull the block up the inclined plane. You see, angle of inclination is theta. Suppose we have to pull the block up the inclined plane by applying force. That F is equal to how much? That is the question. Minimum force. To pull the block up the inclined plane, what is the minimum force? While pulling upwards, what are the forces acting on the block? You tell me. One, weight acts downwards direction. Okay, while pulling upwards along the inclined plane, definitely frictional force acts in opposite direction. Fk. Okay, weight component acts in backward direction. Here, weight component mg sin theta acts backward direction, and here it is. If it is theta, this is theta. That's why it is equal to mg cos theta. Now, normal action is equal to mg cos theta. Fixed it is. Okay, now to pull the block up the inclined plane, we have to apply the force equal to minimum. The sum of these two forces acts on the block along the inclined plane downwards. That's why minimum force required to pull the block up the inclined plane is equal to mg sin theta plus Fk. Mg sin theta plus Fk means mu k into normal reaction mg cos theta. Therefore, minimum force needed to pull the block up the inclined plane is equal to mg of sin theta plus mu k into cos theta. This is the minimum force required. This is the minimum force required. Okay. Next, what is the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block on the inclined plane? Minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block on Bharat. What is our doubt? Bharat Naik. What is our doubt? Bharat Naik, what is your doubt? Bharat Naik, you speak. You mute off and you speak with me. Bharat Naik, you mute off and you speak with me. I unmute you all. So, Bharat Naik, you yourself only mute off and you speak with me. Bharat Naik. Okay. Sai Varshit Reddy, you ask. You unmute yourself and you speak with me. Sai Varshit Reddy. Sai Varshit Reddy. Sai Varshit Reddy, you speak. Why should we take Sai Varshit Reddy? You unmute yourself and you speak with me. Here, unnecessarily don't type. Already I unmute you. You unmute yourself and you speak with me, Varshit Reddy.
Sir, can you explain this F minimum again?
Which one?
Now, this fifth point, sir.
Fifth point. What is your doubt? Here, when the block is moving upwards, the weight component as usual acts downwards direction. When the block move upwards, the friction, kinetic friction acts on the block in downwards direction to oppose the motion. When you move the block in upward direction, the friction force acts on the block, opposes the motion. That's why that acts in downwards direction. If the block moves down, then friction force acts opposite to the direction of motion of the block. Here, as the block is moving in upward direction, in every case, when the block is moving upwards, the friction force acts in downwards direction. Okay. Right. Here, this is the minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane. Here, in mains, sometimes they asked the minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane. Minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane, is three times the force required, minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block down the inclined plane. 3 times the minimum force required, required to prevent the slipping of block downwards on incline. comma, then what is the meaning? Tell me. Minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane means this one. What is the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of block downwards? Tell me. Whenever the block comes down along the inclined plane, what is the force acts on the block? When the block comes down along the inclined plane, slides down along the inclined plane, what is the force acts on the block downwards? mg of sine theta minus, no, friction is there. On the rough inclined surface, when the block slides down, what is the net force acts on the block? In the second point only we wrote, no, mg of sine theta minus mu k cos theta. Okay, mg of sine theta minus mu k cos theta. It is the, whenever the block comes down, the minimum force, the net force acts on the block downwards is equal to mg of sine theta minus mu k cos theta. That's why this is the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block along the inclined plane downwards. It is the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block, because whenever the block comes down here, you see, whenever the block comes down here, the minimum force, the net force acts on the block downwards is equal to mg sine theta minus mu k cos theta. This is the minimum force in downwards direction. Okay, to prevent the slipping of the block downwards, at least you have to apply the force equal to this one in upward direction, so that the this slipping of the block can be prevented. Here the problem is given here is, in mains it is given. Okay, minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane is how much? Minimum force required to move the block up the inclined plane is this one, no? So mg of sine theta plus mu k cos theta. It is the minimum force required to pull the block up the inclined plane. That is equal to 3 times the minimum force required to prevent the slipping of the block downwards on inclined plane. So force here, whenever the block comes down, minimum force required to prevent the slipping is equal to mg of sine theta minus mu k cos theta. But to pull the block up the inclined plane, the force required, minimum force required is 3 times the minimum force required to prevent the slipping. This is given. Okay, now from this mg cancel, then sine theta plus mu k cos theta is equal to 3 sine theta minus 3 mu k cos theta. Okay, here you bring sine theta to right and 3 mu k cos theta to left. Then it becomes 4 mu k cos theta is equal to 3 sine theta minus sine theta means 2 sine theta. 2 sine theta. Okay, therefore mu k is equal to tan theta by 2, no? In this case, the coefficient of kinetic friction is equal to tan theta by 2. Suppose if you are given theta value, what is the coefficient of kinetic friction? They may ask. In this way we can do. So based on this, today you do the problems. I will send the problems based on this inclined plane. Okay, you do the problems. Tomorrow, some difficult problems I will explain. Okay, right. Okay, now have a nice day. Bye.